Hey everyone, I'm Evgeny, founder of DEX Guru, which started as crypto trading terminal in 2021, processed 1 billion in payments by 2022, and evolved into multiple products, including Guru Agentic Framework, which is the foundation of everything we build right now. So I've been building software for about 10 years, enterprise startups, and also as a solo builder mode. And what I wanted to start with today with this presentation is the headline. There are no shortcuts in AI development, but there is leverage for sure. And that leverage is what AI is about, and how to get this leverage out of AI to that it would feel less chaotic and more programmable. That's what we're going to cover today. And that's exactly the agenda for today. We will figure out what the LLMs actually are, where we are with them, what's changed in 2025, and what kind of possibilities are opening for you in 2026, and where to apply your, your abilities and to get something out of it. So let's start with a question. Thinking back when you learned your first programming language, what did you write first usually when you study in any language? Of course, it's a hello world. And why this? Because you need to prove one thing. I can give machine an instruction and it would actually execute it. It proves the point that machine actually understood and reacts back. That's a profound, that's a foundation of everything. And why we are talking about hello world kind of examples with LLMs? Because when you look at LLMs, what it is actually, and comparing it to previous computer science concept, for example, CPUs, where you have chips with thousands of instructions, it can execute on x86 architecture or with hundreds on RISC, it doesn't matter much, but those are computational machines that take instructions and produce outputs. Now we're looking at LLMs from the same perspective, and with LLMs you have thousands of GPU cores and you have billions of parameters. And when you send the prompt, you send in instructions to computational machines that process them through those billions of parameters. So LLMs are effectively computational machines as well, and prompts are the programs. And let just think on it for a moment. When you type in anything to ChatGPT or Claude, and you're not having the conversation with thinking entity, you're writing a program that runs on computational machine similar to what we all used to already in computer science, but with billions of instructions which are available in there. And that's actually where it gets interesting, because as we are right now in this kind of chat interface with those LLMs and everything, we're still in kind of hello world, prompting world, where we send in those one level instructions and hope for the best. So basically, we're sending a single instruction to this billion parameter computational machines and wondering why we are not getting enterprise results. Because we're not building actual programs around it. We just have kind of print statements. And to get actual programs out of it, we of course need like conditionals, loops, states, validations, and in case of LLMs, we need abstractions in there as well. Similar to OOP concept, we have agents. And of course, we need to have like error handling with retries and recovery and everything around it. And those pieces which are missing in here. So let's continue with like historical parallels in there. When the first x86 processors came out, what did we have? Assembly language. You wrote instructions directly to the processor. It worked, but it was brutal. Then came higher level languages like C, CPP, Java, Python. Each layer abstraction actually got us more with less, effort. And that was the evolution in the languages, not evolution in the processors. So right now we have these evolutions in the models, and model providers like Anthropic, OpenAI, or XAI, they are all like new Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA of this era, and they basically producing new computational machines. But what about the languages? What we are creating there to actually absorb those computations and make them work? I believe we're still in assembly era there. So what's we've seen in 2025 actually is that this year things started to change. We've got a Cloud Code with this new paradigm where you don't need to have like actual code editor to edit the code with an agent with those structured instructions and everything around it. We have Cursor with agentic context and tool integration, and we have business frameworks starting to emerge where we have workflow definitions with all those bits and pieces which actually we have in high level languages. And what do all those things have in common? That they actually provide logical branching, loop, state management, validations, and memory. So all those applications we all aware of right now and we are using right now, they created the framework which we expecting on top of computational machines with like those languages. And I wanted to go over one of the great examples I found in the middle of the year, which is like BMAT, which called BMAT framework, and it's like a business framework to actually describe what you are expecting from LLM, get it structured, and make it programmable. So how it works, it uses structured markdown files with YAML configuration, and LLMs read these files and executes them like an interpreter of a running program. You're not prompting anymore, you're programming with those primitives. And that's actual practical things like integration of those currently developed mechanics into the products we're building already. We're getting the LLMs to deliver the business value and adopt new tech, because that's the main struggle right now. Because the promise is already huge in there, where we are already spending like billions in infrastructure, and it contributes already to 1% of US GDP growth, but we still see those minor outcomes from it. In the sector which adopted it, mostly software development, on average there is like 10-15% of performance increase from the teams who's using AI tools. And why is that? Because we still don't have frameworks or kind of languages in the place to actually utilize it. And that's actually the paradigm we were early with Guru framework, because we declared in our white paper for Guru framework in 2024 that agentic apps are the new apps, and we would be building this framework to make it programmable. So the core idea was to merge business process management with LLMs and business process automation engines, which we use there for decades for TradFi, like banking applications and all kind of ERP systems, to organize humans and automated system in one business workflows. We believe that those could be applied to LLMs and produce those results we all eager to have in there, provide those guardrails, and provide this like high level language to actually program the LLM. And that's what we stated with Guru framework initially, and now we are as we open sourced it and we starting getting more and more production ready products out of it, we kind of getting it to the point that it's actually applicable. So, but besides that, inside the team, inside our Guru organization, we start applying the same principles and the same frameworks to development pipelines, which actually allowed us to get more with less as a framework and as it's actually promises. So we were able to shrink the team, keeping the same kind of product line and even actively building in the same time, while applying this new kind of agentic framework to the work we do, to the development principles we do, of course using all those tools which are available in there, including Cursor, Claude, Codex, and whatever else. So how we got there? We applied simple development principles where we are planning, delegating, assessing, codifying, and repeating it in the cycles. So every cycle actually leaves the traces, leaves the artifacts in there which are compounding into knowledge bases, and at the same time in the middle of the cycle we have this major assessment phase where we apply this traditional enterprise grade mechanics like TDDs, code reviews, and benchmarks with SREs and everything, of course with use of AI, but that's actually how we applied the framework on ourselves first to achieve the better results. And that's actually got us to idea of compounding engineering, where each feature we delivered using this framework and using agentic coding tools actually makes made made it easier to build the next ones and to create this knowledge basis of like solutions and prompts we are effectively exchanging in between code bases and in between services on daily. So all of this actually allowed us not only to kind of repeat those cycles, but make those cycles running in parallel, so you can run multiple agents on multiple tasks, use Git work trees and multiple terminals, and actually get to the point where as a developer, even as a manager, you can just leave fractured attention for every business feature you ship in, and in the same time get tremendous results. And as well as we changed how we approach things, we changed the concept of development themselves. So as previously in this bigger organization, for the things we were doing like memos or maybe pitch decks, to start like from idea first, design it, and basically to get everyone on the same page. Now we switch to the paradigm where we just creating the demo, vibe coding it, if you would like this name, and getting it out. So we're doing demos instead of the decks, because code is cheap now, prototyping instead of planning, and building instead of presenting. So all this we see as this kind of new paradigm which we apply into our business processes, which could be scaled into other domains. But one of the other things we actually noticed that AI adoption couldn't be like less than 100%, because one of the main differences there, when you start and adopting it 100% and all the context is basically exchanged using those new mechanics and new features in development world, those artifacts are basically markdown files you live in everywhere, as well as in our case those are YAML files where steps are declared. But we believe the same actual thing applies to the business frameworks as well. So when you're looking for adoption, that's our take in here. You're looking and you want to achieve real results in here, like 10x results, not like 10%. You need to adopt it fully. And what's actually waiting for us in 2026? 2025 gave us a proof that agentic frameworks work with Cloud Code, Cursor, and like those first business framework examples adopted. And 2026 is about applying the same patterns everywhere, not just in software development, every industry, every business process, and every domain where you can define a workflow and execute it. And the field is very democratized right now today, and you don't need to be Anthropic to participate. You don't need billions of dollars to actually get in. All you need is like your understanding of like your domain, willingness to experiment, and start applying those findings you have in other domains in your particular idea or field you're working in. So the main question actually there is what you would build in that new world, what you would build in 2026, because that opportunity is wide open and you don't need billions to actually get there. And uh, again, there are no shortcuts in AI development, but I believe we're in position right now to get maximum leverage out of it. And we already switching from this assembly kind of layer to high level language transition. And for everyone who's interested in this topic, want to kind of jump in, see it on real examples, go check our Atlas built agents and agentic framework where it's all applied and there are real world examples on how it all works.